In this video, I want to talk about a way to target the hamstrings and the glutes while supporting the lower back. I'm going to be using the Hooked on Pilates soft foam arc, and I've got it set on top of the short box, which is almost to the spring side edge of the carriage. I've got my swivel pulleys down, and I'm going to put the ankle cuffs on, and I've got these really soft, comfortable ankle cuffs from Elements by Momentum World. So let me get them attached. Now I want to show you the mounting procedure, the dismounting, and the exercise as well. What I'm going to do first is put my cuffs on, swivel pulleys down. If you cannot do swivel pulleys down, you're just going to have decreased range of motion. But you also can pitch your body forward a little bit more over the arc if you want some more range of motion too. So you got to play around with it. Each reformer is a little bit different. I'm going to take the reformer and pull it to me, and then I'm going to loop once around the shoulder rest with each of the ropes, so I don't have to worry about changing the rope length back and forth. Then I'm going to put a foot on. Once I've got the foot on, I want it slightly taut. I don't want it so far back it's loose, and that's going to help me mount. And then I'm going to step up, put the other foot on the frame. Now, as I bring my body forward, the carriage is going to come to me. And then I'm going to lower my waist onto it. I'm going to flip my legs around so the eye hooks are in the bottom. I'm going to kind of push myself, get my hands down and my forearms around the edge of the box so I'm really comfortable, and give myself some extension. I'm going to start with just some simple hamstring curls. Now you'll notice that I can do it with my knees down, which is, I would say, a nice, easy way to start. Or I can turn the glutes on, lift the legs, and then add a little bit more of a challenge by lifting and holding my thighs up. I can go back to lowered legs, extend one leg down and rest it, and do single leg. I can add a little challenge by lifting the leg up and doing single leg with the thigh lifted. I'll show you on the other side. Single hamstring, knee lowered. Lift the leg up. Single hamstring, hip extended. Then I can go and I can just do straight leg lifts. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm really supporting with my forearms, and my opposite leg is anchored. My thigh is lightly pressing into the foam arc edge. Switching sides, press the right, organize, and lift and lower. Trying to keep my legs straight. And then we're going to do a bent knee version, and then press up. And switch, bend left, and press up. Now you can take your arms, and I've done this where I held onto the box and I kind of lower myself down to a stretch. I'm going to get myself a little lower so I'm holding on with the box. Now this is a little bit more advanced, but it will allow us to really challenge ourselves with the curl. So here it is. I'm holding on really tight so I don't slip off. Now I'm going to do the bent knee version, and the presses up. Holding on with the box, switching sides. Do not do this if your hands are slippery. And press up. And then I'm going to slowly let go, put my hands on the frame, and I'm going to give myself just a little bit of a rest. Option to increase resistance, but I'm not a big fan of going super heavy when you're first learning this sequence. I'm going to take it from a yellow, which I demoed on. and I'm going to show you the option to spot. I'm going to put my hand on the frame or on the gear bar below. It's up to you. So I can kind of light little push or take it completely off. So that's a nice way to kind of build a little bit of assist and strength. I can also, and I'll show you with my other hand, put it on the frame, make sure it's not sweaty. Now here is no assist, all curling left. And here is a little bit of assist. So I can lightly press. So that's when I want to spot and I'm kind of doing a little bit more strength. I can do that. I'm going to put both hands on. I'm going to do the lifted version. Both our hands are on. Here is me not using it. You can see how heavy that red spring is. So I can also do it with moderate amount of assist. So two things I like about having my hands on the frame is I can still get that great hamstring stretch, but I'm closing the chain in my upper extremities, so I'm a little bit more supported. And I have that option to either assist it or not. Let me do a few on the left. No pull, no assist with the hands. Maybe I'm going to do 10 of these, and I find that I'm fatiguing on the 8th one, so then I can add a little bit of an assist with the arms. So I'm going to slowly slide off, and I'm going to take the arc away. Now, a higher level variation of this, and you'll see all of these in my athletic workbook volume 2. You're going to see all these different variations. But it's really important to understand how the different variations are important for you. So that is spine supported. I'm going to pop myself up here, and I'm going to put my ball of my feet on the top of the shoulder rest, and then I'm going to slowly take them off, and then lower my hands down. All right, so I've got this leg on. Let me go back. I have to go back to a yellow. My apologies. I'm not going to be able to move it on that one. Don't do this at home. All right. So I'm going to take really sweaty hands and wipe them down. All right. So I'm going to take my right leg up, and I'm going to do the curl. Now, this also, I've done it where I've gone maybe a little bit heavier, and I've assisted with the opposite hand. So I'm going to put my hand right about there and curl. One hand is on the spring side edge, the other hand is on the frame. Let me show you camera side with that hand position. Left hand on the spring side edge of the carriage, right hand on the frame, lift it up and curl. So there's a curl with a hand spot. Here it is without, and you can see how much harder that is. And then back down. The standing variation is a little bit different. I'm going to have to unclip for the standing, the opposite. So I'm going to do heel flat to start with. Make sure my size 11 foot isn't being jammed up there. Flip it around and hamstring curl. This one I'm not a fan of lifting the knee too high unless you have a really flexible anterior hip socket. Otherwise, you'll be in your back. I'm going to step off and then switch. Clip left, unclip right. And for this one, I like to pull the carriage to me by pulling that foot on, and then bring yourself onto the carriage. Let me make sure that it doesn't slip down. There we go. All right. Leg is up. I like to pivot that So the eye hook is down facing, and then hamstring curls. This takes a really great hip stability in the standing hip, and then I'm going to slowly step down. So there are a few hamstring variations. If you've watched my other videos, you'll see that some of these are translations from doing them on the floor. So these setups can either be done on the carriage or set up on the floor aside the carriage. So play around with those different hamstring variations. I think I pretty much covered what I wanted to in this one, just to show you some different variety of ways to target the hamstrings. And remember, if you have any questions on this, now as you see, please put it in the comments or send it to me in an email. Every reformer is different, so please know you might need to play around with the rope. If you don't have a secure way to do the wrap around the shoulder rests, you can always do it. Here's 4 times around. Now, this is really thick peg, so and it's cone shaped, in my opinion. I prefer the silver chrome knobs that were the same. It doesn't seem to slide, but this one does. So you can either do that or just do the traditional pull and change and shorten them if you're going to do something. But if you're doing a class and you want to be able to go from short to long, this is a much better way, either what to round the shoulder rest or 3 or 4 times based on your limb length. If you have longer limbs, you're going to have to do a little bit more. Some of my students have longer limbs. I'll go once around the shoulder rest and then once around the peg. So play around with different rope lengths for you. Just remember, mounting and dismounting, even though I showed you what works best for me, you may need to try it a couple different ways. Safety is really paramount. Also, when I have the Hooked on Pilates foam arc on, it does have grips, and you've seen me say this before. It does have grips, but chances are it still could slide as you're learning how to, create more smooth mounting and dismounting. So put some grippy pads underneath it just for safety. I've done this with the ankle cuffs, and I've done it with the straps. You can do it with straps if you don't have ankle cuffs. They're really great to have for so many different exercises. So get yourself a set of these. Elements by Momentum World. And I have the black and white stripes, but it can be done with regular loops too. You just have the chance of them slipping and sliding. And for this type of hamstring series, these are really, really a game changer, getting the ankle cuffs. Thanks for watching.